Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and today I'm here for another video. Today I'm going to be going over some improvements that Nintendo could make to Metroid Prime if they decide to remake the game in HD in a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. So let's get right on into it. So guys, I've been playing Metroid Prime on the Dolphin emulator to kind of give us an idea, like look at it, bump it up to 1080p, push some stuff, see what we can change here to make it look a little bit, more modern, a little bit better in the modern era. And there's these cool tools that I've downloaded that let me change a lot of things. So this is kind of how I have it set up right now. Looking good, looking good. Now I have this running at a full 1080p with 8 times MSA on, which I have to say looks super clean. But I also have some other changes that you may notice. Namely, I have, if I can actually toggle this on the fly, I have bloom enabled, which I think looks really good. I can change the amount of bloom, so if this is a little too much bloom for you, maybe you can change it a little bit lower. Or if you want all the bloom, tons of bloom, Wind Waker HD levels of bloom, we can have all of that good stuff. So I changed the bloom here. This is bloom disabled, this is bloom enabled. So that's one way I think that they could definitely make Metroid Prime look better, just the lighting in general. Now I think there's some, obviously if I had access to the developer tools and things like that, I could make it look way better, but this is just one of the ways that I can do it. So bloom, you can see I have this cool thing that lets me actually see how much bloom is actually being added. Like this is just, you're only seeing the lighting from the bloom, which I think is really cool. And there's some cool things like that. There's also something else that I can change, and you guys can do this all by yourself just by downloading the proper stuff. I'll try to link in the description if I can actually go back and find what I did. There's also ambient occlusion is not a thing back on the GameCube. They didn't really have that. And as you can see, this is the normal lighting in the game, which wasn't bad. Had a lot of baked-in lighting, which looked pretty good. But when you enable ambient occlusion, there's just a better sense of just depth to everything. Just a better sense of atmosphere as well, which I really enjoy. Some other things I can do here. There's also this different lighting effect that can be toggled on and off. I can do, also have this flare, which I think looks really good. It's harder to tell when you're outside. If I go inside, oh wait, I think I left bloom off. Yeah, I did. Alright, that's why. That's why you can't tell, because bloom's not on. So you can see this makes the bloom look more intense, a bit more. It kind of tells the bloom where it should be more accurately, as far as I can tell, and it blooms more or less depending on the environment you're around, which I think looks really cool. There's some of the things. If we go in here, we can see just how much better the shadowing is. So you can see just how much better that makes that angles. Wish the camera was a bit better. There we go. So you can kind of see just how much better the ambient occlusion makes. Actually, there's an ambient only. So I have this depth buffer that I'm using, and I can make it go only depth. So it tells me like this is like the bloom and different things that are being shown, and it's just telling you like this is like just the effects. It's just the bloom, just the shadows, all that cool stuff. And I just thought this was really cool. Most of this video is just gonna be talking about like really cool things. And I found the emulator, I was like, oh shoot, this makes the game look so much better, and I wanted to show it to you guys because I think if you want to play Metroid Prime on Dolphin, like this is the way to do it. Plus I think they should add all of these effects to the game. Another thing you may have noticed is that there's actually fog, like actual like real like fog in the game. That's because I added it in with this tool, so I can actually turn that off and on. So you can see it's just kind of like empty, but the fog I think adds an extra layer of like depth and kind of atmosphere to everything, which I really enjoy. So I hope that they add this in the Metroid Prime HD. But obviously they're gonna add other stuff like better textures and stuff like that. But these are just some kind of things that I found that I think look really good. You can see just how much better this looks compared to it. I can actually turn I think I can turn everything off at once. I can remove this completely, and boom, you can see this is the base game. So it's just normal, and I can add that back. If I go back to, and then I can add it back, and this is the thing that I added. So you can see just how much better that looks. Or, you know, some people might like some of the effects added, some people might dislike it, but I think this looks a lot better. I think this is a really good idea of what we're going to see with the Metroid Prime. Obviously, within HD, they'd add some HD textures and stuff, and I can't add those. But different things like this, like better lighting, better shadows, super easy to add, like fog and different things like that. Bloom lighting. So I can remove that again. You can see just, boop, this is the normal game, which doesn't look bad at all. It still holds up really well. But just for me, I really like, so I really like this. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to show you guys the base game. I'm going to throw it at 480p so you guys can see like the base game. And then I'm going to show all the, you know, run around different areas with the improvements on so you guys can see it head to head, decide for yourselves, you know, how much, if it looks better, what different effects you like, and just kind of see like, hey, this is how Metroid Prime looks in HD, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. So I'll be back after that. Okay guys, well that's all for this video. Just a little look at how much better Metroid Prime could look if they decided to remake the game in HD for the Nintendo Switch. Obviously there'd be, you know, better textures, maybe some better polygon counts and things like that. And obviously every implementation of the different features that I showed aren't perfectly implemented. They're just kind of something that you can use just on the fly, change if it was actually, you know, from a developer, it'd look even better than this. But I just want to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how much better Metroid Prime could look. But anyways guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Tuesdays and Thursdays, live streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Coffee Talk Monday through Friday, where I chat with you guys about the latest Nintendo news. And make sure to comment down below on what you thought of this different improvements that I put into Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, and yeah, just how it looked. Anyways guys, I'll see all you guys later on What About Nintendo. Bye!